however. Criminals make and break rules according to their own interest. If a kidnap is a one-off interaction, it is worth wringing the towel dry. That is, extracting the maximum ransom the buyers can raise. Kidnappers have a whole arsenal of tools for psychological combat at their disposal. Long silences, reports of ill health, threats, torture, mutilations, mock executions, and even murder. They can try anything to encourage the buyers to reveal their hidden assets. If a price is agreed, the next problem arises. How do you pay the ransom? Banks cannot handle criminal transactions, and kidnappers generally demand to be paid in used, unmarked, small-denomination notes. Whoever drops them off puts themselves at risk, and a hired courier may prefer to abscond with the ransom rather than deliver it. In the meantime, the kidnapper fears surveillance or an ambush at the specified rendezvous point. This would be the prime opportunity for the police to strike and make an arrest. The kidnapper's justifiable distrust and caution generally makes it impossible to verify a successful handover. What if the courier says he dropped the ransom in the designated dustbin, and the kidnappers claim they never got it? You cannot prove whether the courier, the police, a curious passerby, or the kidnappers themselves are in possession of the ransom. Assuming that this hurdle has also been cleared, and the kidnappers admit that they have received the ransom, is it really in their interest to release a live hostage? Might the hostage reveal useful information to the police? Will the kidnappers meet their former victim again at an identity parade or in court? If the hostage disappears, this would be avoided. Or perhaps there was something about the drop-off that suggested that there was more money to be made. Is it worth starting over, or selling the hostage on to a more sophisticated gang? Kidnappers will only release hostages if they think it is in their own interest to do so. By Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Media reports of kidnappings strongly suggest that this is a deeply dysfunctional market. If you read the news, it seems that many people die in bungled kidnap attempts. Hostages disappear without a trace, or their broken bodies are dumped to be found by grieving relatives and friends. Some families scrape together multiple ransoms before the kidnappers turn ominously silent. Some hostages are cruelly and humiliatingly murdered in public spectacles. Others perish in rescue attempts. The few survivors give harrowing accounts of their time in captivity, tormented by fear, violent threats, and perhaps torture, mutilations, and mock executions. Post-traumatic stress disorder and survivor's guilt are common. How can we reconcile these observations with the ubiquity of kidnap for ransom as a profitable trade? The puzzling kidnap for ransom business. What do the data tell us? Official kidnap statistics are patchy and biased. Abductions are only reported if there is a local police presence. The police officers are not suspected of being complicit in the kidnapping, and people reporting the incident expect a net benefit from doing so. The local authority may not be keen to flag up a kidnapping problem that might reduce their city's attractiveness for tourism and investment. For these reasons, only a minority of kidnap cases are ever recorded in official statistics. Media coverage has a different bias. Commercial media outlets tend to focus on emotional drama, tense or drawn-out negotiations, daring rescue bids, and kidnaps gone sensationally wrong. Editors are rarely interested in short, smoothly resolved kidnappings. There is also self-censorship. It would be unwise for a victim's family to advertise that they paid a substantial ransom for the safe return of a loved one. Such information might attract the attention of other kidnappers, or the police. Several security consultancies closely monitor kidnaps around the world to help their customers manage their risks. Analyzing the outcomes of abductions, where the kidnappers demand some sort of concession in return for the hostage, financial or otherwise, they reckon that in around 90% of cases, the hostages return alive. The large majority of kidnap victims are successfully ransomed. This is an astonishing success rate,